mode. Well, welcome everyone to PARO Wednesday webinars. Today's webinar is about your social enterprise. It's all about social entrepreneurship, and so it's the social enterprise for the future. So our presenter today is Melissa Maltais. She is a PARO business growth advisor, and I have a little bio. She is a very business growth advisor with PARO, Center for Women's Enterprise, and so she has a very strong background in event planning and creative services. She's also passionate about community and collaborations. Her superpower is brainstorming. So if you can see in the back of her, that's all her superpower. So take it away, Melissa. Welcome to PARO, and hope you enjoy it.
Thank you, Nefri. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Glow and Grow presentation. Thank you for carving out some time in your day today to be here. I really appreciate it. I'm excited about this topic. I was asked if I can do this presentation. So for those of you who are familiar with PARO, we have our Go Forth Institute Entrepreneurship course that is available to our PARO members. And essentially today I am summarizing one of the classes from our Go Forth course. And I went into the class and it was a 5-minute video, and I was like, oh my goodness, how am I going to take this 5-minute class and turn it into a whole 40-minute presentation? So I am going to do my best to provide you with as much information as I can, so we can all walk away today being a little bit more familiar with some of the terminology around social entrepreneurship and enterprises, what it is, why it's important, how it could benefit your business, and some of the other ways that you can grow your business by incorporating a social cause into your business strategy. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try sharing my Canva presentation. This is the first time I'm doing this, so please be patient and share. And now can everybody see that first page, social entrepreneurship, the future of business? Yeah, okay, I'm going to expand my window, sorry. I want to see everybody's faces here. Okay, so the future of business. We're going to get into that in a minute, but for those of you who I have not had the pleasure of meeting yet, I wanted to share a little bit about me and who I am and where I'm coming from. I'm a city gal and I turned country bumpkin. I'm living just in North Bay, Ontario, just on the outskirts. As mentioned, I had a strong background in event planning. I am now an officially retired wedding and event planner. It was great in my 20s, not so much now. Just don't have the energy for that. Hobby photographer and videography. I love getting out there. I'll go take out the garbage and I'll take 100 pictures along the way. So I've always got my camera in my hand. I'm an adventurer at heart. I have a little girl. She's 6 years old. She loves going out into nature with me. And we have 4 chickens. I did not think I wanted chickens until I got chickens. And now I am the crazy cat, or the crazy chicken lady, and who's always out there hiding in the coop, and just they're therapy. They're very therapeutic for me. We love being out in nature and exploring. I'm a junkie entrepreneur. I've always got a million gazillion different business ideas in my head, thus the whiteboard. I get it all out. I never really do anything with them. And I am a butter tart connoisseur. I will go to great lengths to try every single butter tart that I can. I absolutely love them. So the first thing that I would like to do is I want to find out.
Melissa, there is an additional screen on top of the screen, says audience window. Enter full screen mode. That appears, at least it's for me. I'm not sure if that is for everybody. Perfect.
Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah, that's better. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you. Now, where's my chat? How do I get my chat back up? Sorry, I don't see my chat here. Is that just me? Okay, I can't find my chat. So I have, where am I? Understanding, is it just automatically going on me?
I'll pause the recording and then we can restart.
Minty poll. So I created a poll here. I'm curious to know from you guys where you are at. So if you go into the chat, click on the link, it should take you to the poll. And I'm curious to know if you have already incorporated a social cause into your business, or are you at the stage where you're just considering it?
I'm actually at the cottage right now. The connection's like extremely slow, but I'm considering social causes. I want to hear what. Yes.
Oh, excellent. And what are you considering including into your business strategy?
Well, I'm just wondering what, like, if I consider like social causes, it's built into my policy. So it's not, hey, I'm anti this or pro that. This is how we run an ethical business.
Right. So it's a social commitment.
So yeah, my pitch would be, we have harassment policies, for example, that are in place, and these are metrics of successful social entrepreneurship. So yeah, for sure.
Excellent. Anybody?
Like, honestly, I don't know too much more. Like, I'd like to hear more. Like I have a family in the States, and the social cause perspective it's quite, I find it quite jarring. The businesses that take stands in certain public social issues that are maybe not appropriate. So I'd love to hear that perspective too.
Right. Does anybody else want to share?
Yeah, I would say that my business definitely has that kind of social commitment really built into the policies that I have for my business and the clients that I take on in my business. It all has to be very aligned with my values and my company's values. But as the business continues to grow, it's kind of still in its infancy. But I recently read about a great initiative where you go ahead and commit 5% of your revenue, so your profits every month or every quarter, every year, whatever that looks like for you, to causes that align with your business. So I think as the business grows, I'm going to kind of look more into that and see what that would look like as a way to also hold myself and my business accountable to continue to support causes that matter to my business.
That's amazing. And I think by starting with a social commitment in your business structure is a really great way to just get started and just kind of get your feet wet a little bit into this world of social entrepreneurship. So today we're going to be going over essentially 4 different things. We're going to go into a little bit of understanding what it is. We're going to review some of the terminology so we can kind of be a little bit more understanding when we hear these words kind of being dropped out all over the place. We're going to discuss how it can benefit your business, how you can get started, different types of funding that are available to entrepreneurship businesses, and some really great resource that I discovered to be inspired by all of the different charities and not-for-profit organizations that are really changing the landscape of business here in Canada. So what is social entrepreneurship? Right? Are we all familiar with the term social entrepreneurship here? We've all heard it, kind of know what it means. Essentially, it's just an approach by an individual such as yourself, groups, startup companies, entrepreneurs, in which are developing, funding, or implementing solutions to a social, cultural, or an environmental issue. And there's a lot of different ways that we can go about doing that within different business structures, and we'll get into that in a little bit. The word enterprise is really just another word for a for-profit business or a company, and it's often associated with entrepreneurial ventures. So people have an entrepreneurial success are often referred to as enterprising. The word venture is really just kind of what it sounds like. It's a business venture that is a new business that is created to make a profit, but generally will always involve some type of risk or uncertainty. But I think anytime we start a business, there's always some sort of risk or uncertainty. So when you're starting out with your venture, that's what that means, a newer business with some uncertainty and some risk. A cooperative is a business entity that is owned and run jointly by its members who share the profits and the benefits. Some examples of these types of co-ops are farms, grocery stores, educational resources like literacy associations. Generally, these are run by a group of individuals, and they are all benefiting from the outcomes of that business. Incorporation. Who here understands incorporation? Nope. Kind of, I know, right? Every time I'm with a group of women, people are like, what is this incorporating? Why do I need to do it? Why are people doing it? Why do I not want to do it? Incorporation is a legal.
I thought just simply, wasn't it like tax legal versus not being taxed, like legally accountable versus non? Like, I think it's just that simple, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a part of it. So when you're incorporating, it's a legal process that's used to form a corporate entity. And the corporation is resulting legal entity that separates the firm's assets and income from its owners and investors. So there's some reasons why you would want to consider incorporating your business. Social entrepreneurship, where did that go? And I'm going to get to that later. But not yet, apparently. So why social entrepreneurship? Because your voice matters, okay? 97.7% of all businesses, small to medium-sized businesses in Canada are owned by people just like you. And collectively, we have the power to make the changes that we want to see. So if we can imagine that even if only 50% of all these businesses in Canada are collectively coming together to voice their passions and to create change within the system, that's a lot of people. I feel like right now, so many of us are losing faith in our governments and our leaders, and we're not seeing the changes that we actually want. But when we have this many people within our country who have this platform and this audience, we can make those changes happen. So that's one of the reasons why it could be of such great value to you as a business owner to incorporate a social cause into your business strategy, because it's going to give you that stage to voice what's important to you. And it's going to help you connect with other people who have the same passions and the same hopes and the same dreams. You can shine your light. You are going to stand out from the crowd. Imagine this, you're at a farmer's market and you have artisan one in one tent and you have artisan two in the other tent. Very similar creations. One artisan is a completely for-profit business entity. She keeps all of her profits, puts them back into her business, pays herself. Artisan two, however, donates a portion of her profits to a local charity. Which artisan are you most likely to support and invest in? Probably the one who's supporting an amazing charity within your community. This is the stage. This is the way that you can set yourself apart from your competitors as well. People want to make an investment into a business that they want to support, not only because they appreciate your product or your service and that's a need of theirs or a problem that you're solving for them, but people want to make changes. People want the world to be a better place. People are going to be more likely to invest in you if you are taking that opportunity and using your stage as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, to give back to your community, to give back to your country, to give back to the world. Okay. Opportunities to collaborate are huge. We know that there are so many different organizations out there. We know that there are so many other people that are just as passionate as you are for social and climate change. I feel personally that if your marketing plan does not include moments for collaboration, you are missing out on a great opportunity to grow and expand your audience. I know, Maddie, you're so good at this. I really do. People are always asking me, my clients, well, how can I market my business? Like, collaborate, get together with other businesses in our community, Don't worry about spending ad money on Facebook and Google and all of that stuff where you might get some of your return on investment, which is also a very complicated process too, by the way, that you're probably going to want to invest in some support to get you set up with setting up those types of digital ads. But when you're reaching out with other businesses and other organizations within your community, think of it as free marketing. The audience potential for growth is huge. And you know that you're all supporting one another with that same fuel and with that same passion. When you're doing these types of collaborative moments, it also creates exceptional moments for you to connect with your community. I find and I see so many people going out into the digital world and focusing all their time and energy on content creation and content strategizing and, you know, just being on socials all the time, and then coming back and being like, why is nobody engaging with me? Why am I not getting any more followers? Because you're missing the very first step. I feel this is my personal reflection. If you are not connecting with the people within your community and your hopes are only to reach beyond your community, it's a challenge. It's going to be a barrier. However, if you're taking these moments to connect with the people in your community and showing them why you're doing what you're doing, why it's so important, and sharing that passion, and then you start to gain the support from your community and they start finding you on socials, that's when your algorithms are going to start to recognize, hey, people are recognizing this business. People are engaging with this business. People are sharing this business. And that's what's going to grow your audience in the digital spectrum. So if we're not focusing, especially when we're in the early startup phase of our business, first thing we want to do is create our social media profiles and get all of our amazing content and spend the day making reels and videos and clips, but we're not actually going out into the community. We're not connecting with our neighbors. And that's, if we get their support, I feel like that just sets the stage to grow even more. So registering your social enterprise. Is everybody here already have their business registered? And do you mind sharing what your business is registered as?
We mean for to results, like Lean Six Sigma?
Like, are you registered as a sole proprietor, as a partnership? Sole proprietor, right? So when you are considering, if you've already registered your business, it's not permanent. There are ways that we can change this. First is unincorporated business. So that is your your sole proprietorship and your partnership type businesses. The pros to registering in this capacity in this type of business entity is that there are less administrative tasks for you to manage. However, you are then directly liable for debts and obligations incurred through your business. And also, you're going to find that there is reduced funding available for you to start your business. Right now, you're going to see a lot of funding out there for digital media. So getting a website made, helping with social media stuff, there's an abundance of that. However, you're not often going to find a lot of other moments for funding. Incorporated business, so we're just going to flip those pros and cons. You're going to find that there is more funding available and you are going to not be held liable for the debts and obligations through your business, but it's going to be a little bit more administratively complex for you to manage, but there are people to help you with that. And as a business growth advisor with PARO, that's something that we can help support and guide you with on that journey to make sure that it's getting done properly, okay? There is a spectrum of social enterprise entities that we can take into consideration for our businesses who want to incorporate a social cause into our business strategy. We can establish a charity, and you can operate as a related business, or you can just be a full-scale charity. You can be an enterprising nonprofit, or you can be a not-for-profit corporation with a social purpose. You can be a business corporation with a social purpose, or you can be a co-op corporation with a social purpose. You can be a business corporation donating to a charity, or you can be a socially responsible business corporation. Or at the very far end of the spectrum, you can be a business or a corporation with absolutely no social purpose. So you can see, you could go from a registered charity where you're not making any money, not making any profit, everything goes back into your cause of choice. You could be on the very far end of the spectrum where you are a business just solely for profit, no social commitments, no social causes. And then there's that whole spectrum in between. And really it's going to be just a matter of finding what the best entity is for your business and the way that you want to support your cause of choice. So if we can go back to, I did a little quiz, darn, and I can't seem to get the Menti up here. I wonder, sorry guys. Right here, I think I might got it. Yes, I do. Present. If we could go back to the Menti link in the chat. And do you see the question, a capital intensive social enterprise idea and what the best ideal entity would be? Do you guys see that?
Mine won't load. It just keeps saying like Menti poll question 1 of 3 and there's no actual questions.
Okay, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna improvise. I'm gonna post this question. You have a capital intensive social enterprise idea. I'm gonna share 3 different business entities and I want you to share with me which one you feel might be the best one. So a capital intensive social enterprise idea. Do you think the best business entity would be to register as a charity, a not-for-profit corporation, or an incorporated for-profit business with a social cause? Anybody else want to take a guess?
That's my guess as well.
That's yours.
For profit, yeah, with social cause.
Yep, you're right. So the reason why you're right, if you have a capital intensive idea, meaning you need to purchase property, you need to purchase a building, you need to hire support to develop technical solutions, anything like that. If you're going to be going to the banks looking for that type of funding, you do not want to register as a not-for-profit or as a charity because they don't see the return on investment the same way. So you want to have a for-profit structure so that they can see your cash flow projections throughout your business and your opportunities to generate profit and revenue. And this way you are more likely to get the funding that you are in need of, as opposed to a not-for-profit or charitable structure where you are not going to be retaining as much of those funds to operate your business, okay? And now I have another one. Sorry, it's coming. My internet is also very slow today. And next one. Okay. Retaining control of your social enterprise. Which of these 3 would be the best business entity for your business? Does anyone have any guesses?
I was actually just trying to look up, it's a Enviro Stewards is the name of the company, but they do this, and I think it's called a B2B corporation. Is that something you're familiar with? So they do, they help with Lean Six Sigma in manufacturing, and then the big part of their business is, they'll do safe water in Africa. So projects like that. Is that something, it must be under one of these headings?
Yeah, so something like that could be.
I couldn't find the name of it. It was like B2 Corporation or something.
Yeah, so it's probably an incorporated business, I would imagine, like a corporation, depending on how it's structured. Unless you know the back end and how it's organized, it's hard to determine. So this one, for instance, so if you want to retain control over your business, the answer here would be to have as one option, an incorporated business with a social cause. The reason why you wouldn't want it to be a charity or a not-for-profit organization is because as soon as you register your business through charity or not-for-profit status, you then are going to require board of directors, and those are the people that are going to essentially manage and take over the reins of that organization, right? So having it either as an unincorporated or an incorporated business, but keeping it as a for-profit entity will help you retain control over your business and what it is that you would like to do. And did we do? And then lastly, what about a profitable social enterprise? You have an amazing social enterprise idea and you are going to generate a whole lot of income in that capacity. What do you think would be the best enterprise for this? Do you think maybe a registered charity? You can raise a whole lot of money. You can do a not-for-profit cooperative, get a whole bunch of people on board. They manage the business. They help take control over everything, because if it's going to be profitable, it's going to be busy. Or should we do a for-profit that's donating to a charity? You're right. It's for profit. So you get to take care of yourself. If you're going to have a profitable business structure, you are going to be able to generate enough income to live a sustainable lifestyle for yourself. But at the same time, because you're generating so much profit, and like you said, Maddie, if you're only just taking 5% of that revenue and you're donating that to a good cause, if you have the structure of a successful business that's generating a lot of profit, it's a win-win situation. You're winning, and the charity of your choice or the social cause that you are hoping to support, they are also going to win from that as well. What do you guys see on your screen right now? Is it still my my little presentation with the social? Okay, excellent. Yeah. Thank you. So just to kind of quickly summarize, these are the different types of not-for-profit structures. You can register as a charity, a registered charity operating as a business, an enterprising not-for-profit, or a not-for-profit corporation with a social purpose. Types of for-profit entities, which I personally feel is the best way to go: a co-op corporation with a social purpose, a business with a social purpose, a business donating to a charity, a business with a socially responsible commitment, or you can just not incorporate any social purpose at all, which really you don't want to do. Social entrepreneurship really is I did do a pop quiz, we're not going to do that. Social entrepreneurship really is the future of business. Like I mentioned before, people want to support businesses who are out to make a change and to make the world a better place. This is our opportunity as a general whole in society where we can make the changes that we want to see. And you will start to see that people are going to be making more aware purchases and investments, and not only investing in businesses that have a social purpose, but they want to be a part of it. So right now, recruitment and hiring is such an incredible challenge for businesses because people have the option to work from home. So why would they go work at a store 40 hours a week, right? However, if you have a business that is making positive change in the world and you find that person who wants to be a part of that, you are more likely to retain and attract those types of employees to support you in your business and your goals and to support those social causes. So getting started, first thing you need to do is determine the best business entity for yourself. If you've already registered and you're looking at adding a social cause to your business, you can cancel your current registration and you can re-register. So so really it's taking a good look at the design and the structure of your business and how you want to function it. And then based on that, you may need to consider re-registering your business, because if you do, you may have access to other grant and funding opportunities to support you, okay? So we get out of that sole proprietor and partnership entity so that we can get to a place where we can access more funding to do the things that we want to do with our business. So finding grants.
I understand.
Yeah.
Do you mind? Can I ask a question?
No, go ahead, Charlotte.
Thank you. No, I love this. I'm so interested. I know you speak to, okay, the grants that are associated with the different aspects of the business, how we call ourselves. That's really interesting. It's actually really strategic. I'm really curious because I'm like into like GBA plus, which is organizations that are looking for like, you can get grants and funding based on you've looked at gender-based analysis in your hiring. So like pitching those kinds of things will attract employees also that we've, looked at our own biases, like for realsies, and applied that to our business. But I know I just want to let you know, I know there's grants available for how we operate.
Yeah, absolutely. And innovation centers are really great for this as well, because anytime you're getting to a social or climate cause, there's opportunities for innovation there, whether it's technology, whether it's creating an organization or a co-op structure to help, underprivileged youth, like getting into agriculture. Like there's so many different ways that we can incorporate a social cause into our business goals. And that alone is going to open up a whole new world of opportunities for you, okay? As a business counselor, one of the very first resources that I always go to when I'm searching for available grants and funding is I go to the Government of Canada Benefits Finder website, and I will be able to, no, I can't. But I can, well, when you get the recording of the presentation, you'll be able to, or actually, I can share it, and I will share it a little bit towards the end. I'll just share my presentation, and everything in my presentation is linked. So you would essentially just answer some of these quick little questions. They ask you what type of business you are, how many employees you have, what your business entity and structure is. You put in the types of funding you're looking for, if you're a women entrepreneur, if you are a person of color, all of that. And it's going to create a custom auto response with all of the available funding that is available to you. So this is a really great website that I always use and go to. I did find more though. There's a Trillium Roots Community Fund that funds opportunities for businesses with social causes.
I just asked a quick question about the social causes.
Yeah, of course, Stephanie.
So we're about to incorporate, we have all our paperwork and stuff. So August 1st, we're going to be an incorporation. But with like this, thanks. But with this social cause, like, is that something that needs to be registered, or that's just something that we?
That all depends on you. So are you intending to create your own charity, your own foundation, your own organization that supports a cause, or are you going to be supporting somebody who's already established it?
Okay. Just,
Right.
I'm actually just a business manager. I'm not actually the owner, so I'm not like 100% sure on how it all works. But so the social cause, like, it would be potentially like something we would register for if it was.
Yeah, like there's nothing
Okay.
stopping you from creating your own registered charity and then supporting that work. That's where it comes back, where you create a registered charity, but you're operating as a functional business to support your own charity, right?
Okay.
So an example for this is there is the polar bear habitat up in Cochrane, Ontario, and they have designed a registered charity, but they function as a business. So all the funds that all the profits that they generate are actually being put back into their charity after their operating expenses. So that's something that can be done. But if you're just getting started, personally, I think it's best just to find an organization that you're passionate about and that you want to support and incorporate them into your structure that way.
Okay, thanks.
And you can also incorporate some social commitments. Like there's a few different things that you can do, right? Ontario Trillium Capital Grant. There is that one that I discovered. The Public Voice Fund. There's that one. I won't get into all the details because we are running a little bit lower. Desjardins Good Spark Fund. There were so many. Government Jobs and Growth Fund. And then even just going to the Government of Ontario, there was tons in here, tons. It's very time consuming, but again, that's where your business counselor from PARO can help go through and sort through all of the funds, go through the eligibility requirements and really pinpoint which ones would be of best value for you. So you're not spending 20 hours a week just Googling and looking and reading through all of the eligibility requirements. I know HFC is also another really great resource for funding opportunities.
What's the going rate for grant researchers? Is it like $100 an hour? Seriously, like that's worth it. Like, and they know where to look, right? Like that's a whole skill set. It's a whole skill set.
Yeah.
So, like I have seen on LinkedIn, there's people like working from home being grant experts. So yeah, I might actually, it sounds overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed already just listening.
I know, right? So that's something that if you're not already a PARO member, business counselors can help to support you with that process of looking for grants and just keeping eyes and ears peeled. And when something comes up that's a good fit, that's what I do. I just pass it along and say, hey, I found this. I was thinking of you. Sounds like it could be a good fit for you, right? I know that when I started my little businesses a few years ago, I didn't even consider grants. I didn't even think it wasn't even a thought in my head until I actually until I got introduced to PARO and I was introduced into our microfunding. And then it just kind of opened this whole door. And I was like, I can't believe all of this money is out there. The government is there to support us. But truthfully, they want to support innovators. They want to support change makers. They want to support the people who are going to help our country grow. Not to say that sole proprietors and partnership-based businesses are not doing that. However, when you incorporate this notion of supporting a social cause within your business, that's where the change comes. That's what they want to see. The people who are taking their passions, their areas of expertise and their skill sets, their audience, and they're growing and they're educating and they're supporting. Those are the people that the government really wants to support. That's why I feel like A, this is the future of business, but B, this is how we can make things happen. This is how we make it change. I spent hours, literally hours yesterday looking for women-led social enterprise businesses in Canada. And there was too many. I couldn't even list them all. But I did come across this site called Canada Helps. What I really liked about this is if you have a charity or a not-for-profit organization, you can post it here on canadahelps.org. However, if you are a business looking to support a cause, this could be a really great place for you to go. What I liked about it, I don't know why it's not playing. I didn't autoplay it. Sorry, guys. Anyways, but what was really nice is that you can pinpoint where you are looking. So if you want to look for an organization within your community, I was just simply typing in North Bay, Ontario, and over 500 registered charities and not-for-profit organizations had come up. That would make it really easy for me to reach out and say, hey, I would like to support this cause. This is my business. This is what I do. This is what I offer. This is how I feel maybe we can work together and increase the awareness and audience for your organization. So if that's something that you're looking at starting, this can be a really good place for you. If you have your own registered charity or not-for-profit organization, this could be a really great space for you to promote that organization as well. There's more to social entrepreneurship. I'm really just touching the tip of the iceberg, and I really wanted this to be, how do I stop share? I really wanted the presentation today to be an introduction so that we can better understand the value of a social enterprise and incorporating a social cause into our businesses. I wanted you to feel a little bit more confident when you start hearing some of these terminologies. And I wanted it to just be something that will help you make that next step in your business strategy and give you some more guidance. I think that if this is the avenue that you are wanting to go down, it can get more complicated. And that's when having a business counselor on your side can be of great benefit to you. There are so many resources that I came across. The Canadian government has a social enterprise guide, step by step, registering, all of the incorporation, every step that you need to make to be able to make this happen for your business. But I know it can be really overwhelming, and maybe this is just a part 1 workshop and I go into depth, maybe in a part 2 somewhere along the way. Does anybody have any questions? Would you like to share the social causes that you are passionate about and would like to support in your businesses?
Well, yeah, I think I was looking at the 50-30, which is working at corporate level more women, and then SDG goals, like the United Nations Standard Development Goals. And I did look at Enviro Stewards is a B corporation. So I'm not sure where it falls under all these things, but I did kind of really get it. This whole thing is new for me. I get a real kick, like a Dilbert kick from what's the government so ineffective, but I can't believe the level of complication to what we define these businesses, where I think grants should just be, this is our project, there's this what we're bringing to the table and how we're going to use that money, period. I just, the overcomplication is amazing. And I'm an educated woman, 20 years engineering, and like I said, going through the grants, just the available, I'm so glad I landed with PARO, thank you, because the overwhelming amount of resources to be supported is so wonderful. So yeah, I'm very excited. I really appreciate this time.
Excellent. Yeah, what I really love about working with PARO is I get to help women like yourselves kind of clutter through all of the overwhelm. I find there you go on Instagram or Facebook and there's just take this class and take that class and here's that and do this and do that and don't do this, and it's overwhelming. It's too much. And as business owners, we need to focus on our business, right? So what I really truly appreciate doing what I do is being able to help guide you and get through all of that clutter and keep you on the right path so that you're focused on your goal and you're only doing the things that you actually need to be doing, right? Like I said, there's a lot of resources out there, but as a business counselor, I'm here to access and find them and keep
like appropriate to our needs, because I did dive into this like rabbit hole, and I'm working with April, and she's like, yeah, just, sole proprietor, you're a 20-year professional consultant, like get some jobs, right? And you get your business started. And I'm just kind of diving into the quagmire, but yeah, so excellent to have that guidance. And really women, like professional women, is just learning to, hey, these are our experiences. And I so appreciate, Melissa, to share yours, right? Like, hey, and that's with April, like, hey, I didn't have to do that. Right? Like, and we don't have to kind of keep making those same, or making it easier for us. Thank you.
And entrepreneurship can be an incredibly intimidating world, especially if you're new to it. And I find as women, we have the passion, right? We have the experience, we have the expertise. So how can we take all of that and then put it into a business? And we walk into this very male dominated world where we don't feel comfortable, and we may not have financial literacy skills. We may not know, about business entities and all that stuff. And that's where PARO really plays such an important role in your entrepreneurial journey, is to give you the confidence to go out there and to do what you love to do and to make your dreams a reality. Because I know so many people who give up so quickly because it's too much to take on. It's too intimidating. They don't understand it. They spend too much time, just on social media, not enough time, doing actual billable work. And it's a real balancing act to be able to do the things that you love to do, but then to wear all of the other hats. Right. So, yeah. Is there anybody else who would like to share their social purpose and their social causes that they're passionate about and would like to maybe implement into their business?
I'll share. I feel like I'm not too sure. I feel like I need to sit down and kind of wrap my head around exactly what I would like to focus on. I feel like my heart is pulled in so many different directions. And this is my second business. Previously, I feel like my first business was very much a social enterprise and very much focused on supporting education for children and supporting specifically children to receive education, to continue to do anti-racism work, and to learn about like LGBTQ+ children, and just kind of support all of those things. So that's very much where my heart is still with supporting social justice and equity movements, but I feel like I really need to sit down and really think about what that looks like for me and what that looks like for my business, and if it will be a continuous cause that I continue to pour into. And as you mentioned, Melissa, that's a really great opportunity to kind of find charities to collaborate with and to support one another. So I think I'm definitely going to look into that and kind of get my brain on paper. So this has given me a really great push to do that. So thank you.
Excellent. I'm so happy to hear. And I think one of the biggest challenges too, right, is finding a social cause or a social purpose that you want to support, but it also aligns with your business, right? So, and especially if you're service-based, that could be a real challenge. And I know I'm there right now. I'm in another ideation phase. I have a really great business idea, and I'm trying to figure out how I can use that opportunity to support a cause that I'm passionate about. But it's hard to choose something. So it has to align with what you're doing and what you're offering as a business. And to find that medium and that connection point, right, can be a real challenge. So definitely get a notebook, write notes down, keep all of the organizations that you come across handy somewhere for easy access, because you never know when you're going to be inspired by something. Maybe that's incorporating some sort of product. If you're a service-based business, maybe it's collaborating with another business who creates a product, and together portion of those profits from sales of that product go to a charitable or a not-for-profit organization. And there's nothing limiting you either from supporting multiple organizations or multiple charities. Maybe you have a collection of different items that donations are provided to different organizations. It's really, the ball is in your court. You are free to explore your opportunities. Don't feel like you're defined in having to do this in any particular way. I had an idea the other day of doing like a monthly silent auction, and every month is a different organization or not-for-profit that I want to support. Right? You can partner with multiple businesses and collaborate. There's so many different options. So I know it can seem really overwhelming.
Melissa, what if I'm a huge STEM supporter? So part of my business, like I'm still developing it, I want to engage, like I know through the engineering schools, but also the social sciences and just the sciences like bio and things like that. They have amazing co-op and volunteering programs through school. So is there a social enterprise that I'm like super engaging in these students? It's about learning and doing. And that's what the point is of these co-op programs through university. Is there a social enterprise within that specification? Like, so I'm engaging students and
yeah, you can check with them to see if there's opportunities for you to support them directly, or maybe this is creating an opportunity for you to co-develop something different, and maybe you want to support women in engineering or women and youth into this field, right? Yeah.
But from a grant access thing, is there? Like,
yeah, there should be some, like, especially if it's something that's.
I'll ask.
Yeah. Ask your PARO counselor, but I'm always happy to jump in on a call with the two of you, and we can do a brainstorming session and just totally and see what some of your options are. And that's
really fun.
Yeah, and like I said, that's my superpower, brainstorming. I'm the master of ideas. So if anybody is feeling stuck and you're in a box and you need to get out of the box, I'm your girl. So feel free to connect with me. My contact info is on our PARO website. I'll throw my email address here in the chat.
Melissa, when you said, video expertise, I'm like, that's a huge gap closer in manufacturing, is because of a really diverse and inclusive workforce. It's never mind as standard SOPs, like written SOPs. We're talking, it's time to bring video and we're recording how people are doing these standard operating. And like I've worked with operators who struggle with reading. So there's a lot of accommodation that it doesn't have to be so hard, right? People wouldn't have a hard time asking for accommodation if it was like no big deal. But like get in there, like there's such a business opportunity for closing the gap on training.
Yeah, actually, absolutely. And that's something that can be utilized and considered innovative and a technological advancement within your business, right? So definitely innovation centers might have some programs to help cover some of those costs associated, especially depending on the size of the business and the organization and the project, the scale of the project and how in-depth it's going to be, right? I have a client who wants to create like a clown university for her hires, and essentially
fun.
Yeah, so right now she does it all in person, and she's got her little manual, but whatever. But now we're thinking, well, how can we innovate, and how can we make this more accessible to people, right? So we're looking into those kinds of digital and technical solutions and creating like an app and a background portal for them. Like there's so many opportunities for those moments, but I feel like they're limited to the bigger corporations who have the capital to be able to invest in them. So just knowing where you can go to try to find grants, and if you don't fit within that realm or the eligibility requirements, we can tweak your ideas to incorporate something that would get you in there. Right? There's always a way.
I love it. I love where you're working.
Yeah.
Love it.
So with that, if nobody else has any other questions, again, just thank you, ladies, so much for being here today. I know we often get over Zoomed and we get Zoom tired and everything. I know I'm super guilty of that. So I truly do appreciate you taking the time to zip in here. And I loved having these conversations and hearing your ideas and your goals and your plans. And like I said, we all have this opportunity as entrepreneurs to shine our light. You are given a stage to voice your passions, and we have the ability to make the changes that we want to see. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all that you are
Yes,
doing.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Have a good
Wonderful.
day.
Thank you so much, Melissa. And if you missed if you missed any of the webinars and would like to get a recording for this, send an email to communications@paro.ca. You can get the recording or any other webinar that you have missed. And also, we have webinars every Wednesday. So check them out on our website and stay tuned. Take care, ladies. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.